Hey, everybody, I'm not going to be on long, but I want to get this out of my system because what was allowed to go down on Tuesday was absolutely disgusting. I sought at first to avoid it, but now I've decided I can't. I'm not going to avoid it. I'm going to address it, and I'm going to take this from an angle. Disgusting. I sought at first to avoid it, but now I've decided I can't. I'm not going to avoid it. I'm going to address it, and I'm going to take this from an angle. Disgusting. I sought at first to avoid it, but now I've decided I can't. I'm not going to avoid it. I'm going to address it, and I'm going to take this from an angle. Disgusting. I sought at first to avoid it, but now I've decided I can't. I'm not going to avoid it. I'm going to address it, and I'm going to. Yeah, and the reason is that I'm going to repeat it again and again and again is simple. Keep that little trick in mind, because by the time I'm done, it's going to sound like my voice is all over the place. What Sheng Thao is doing is absolutely disgusting, absolutely ridiculous, and it has to be called out as that because she is trying to the best of her ability to tear Oakland apart. You hear me? She's trying to tear Black Oakland apart. And the reason she's doing it is she thinks that if Black Oakland is splintered, she has a greater chance of keeping office because we won't be united against her. The Asian community is on her side. The Hill area progressive community is teetering. If the Black community decides, hey, you know what, we're tired of this, and protest en masse, particularly with respect to Lerone Armstrong, recall is set in motion and she's out of there. So Sheng, in all of her efforts, but most notably her efforts with respect to Black people, likes to keep us divided in Oakland because she knows that the Black Crab Barrel is alive. It's a generations old habit where we put each other down at the drop of a hat for the dumbest of reasons. Oh, that person's talking too loud. That person wants to shut them down. This other person thinks that they're bigger, even if they don't. There's another person that wants to shut them down. That's happened to each one of us. It's happened to me. Some of the people who are guilty of this Black crab barrelism, are right there at this table right here. And right here, okay? Now, what we would have done, this is what really riles me about this. Let me just play this for you a little bit so you can get some whiff of the stink that this is pulling up. Not too much, okay? But just enough for you to go, oh, hey, this is yucko stuff, because it is. It is precisely that. And ABC's got to get a better ad system here going. Sorry about that. Let me straighten that out, because that's why ABC's web pages are so slow. Now, let me go back to the web page so that ad goes away. The ad was actually covering up the video. All right. Now, I've got to go back to the ad, go back to the page and bring it up. And so here we are there, and see if it'll stay there. All right. Let's play this as much as I don't want to, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Oakland chapter.
Let me go back here.
It's time to break the silence.
Here it is. Here it is.
Former and current members of the Oakland chapter of the NAACP say it's time to break the silence.
The Oakland branch is currently using its position to hijack the legacy of the historic organization and using it as a weapon against their opposition.
Doug Blackshear is one of the signatories of a letter sent to the national NAACP president about the Oakland branch. The letter states, our leadership is reverting to lies, fear-mongering, and tough-on-crime rhetoric that has targeted African Americans throughout our history in this country, evoking...
And I'm going to stop right there, because what you need to see about the people at this table is that they are all supporters of Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao. Okay, that's what's not said in the broadcast. They're all supporters of the mayor. So this is really the mayor pulling their strings. If you think about what was uttered on the broadcast, all right, and a white-owned media broadcast at that, it's makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. How can one organization in a town like Oakland hijack the entire legacy of the NAACP? And whoever came up and said that to begin with, guess what? Oakland has a crime problem. Excuse me. Oakland has a terribly bad crime problem. Excuse me. Oakland has a historically bad crime problem where it is on pace, my city, to break the record for carjackings alone. My calculations show that it would project to 405 by the end of the year. That's double the last highest year of carjackings. Okay? Double. And I can go on and on and on about statistics. And this city has been damaged. It's been damaged by ransomware. It has been damaged by disinvestment. It has a sea level rise problem that it refuses to pay attention to. It has a Coliseum disinvestment problem that it refuses to address. It allows white investment to build downtown, but not build in a public-private way, so that we are still a city that has not had a world-class convention center of size, like 600,000 square feet and up, ever. And what we think is a convention center is a podunk 150,000 square foot facility at downtown in the Oakland Marriott Convention Center. That's what we call it. All right. That's it. When was it built, you would ask? Tell us, Zitty. It was built in 1988. All right. 1988. This is 2023, and we have made zero effort to build a new convention center to take advantage of the tourism that comes to the Bay Area. We act like people don't want to be in Oakland. That's really how we behave. Words, they say, present will be the contrary to my words, but they're not, because it's the actions I can point to, or excuse me, the inaction I can point to. And now we have the mayor who doesn't hire staff and doesn't know how to cause public-private investment. All she knows how to do is cause chaos. She wanted an Asian mayor. Let's get this out of the way, an Asian chief of police. She made that known prior to her inauguration. She put out a text seeking an Asian sheriff. She made a lot of moves in that direction. She had a trumped up, and I was told by a source that her plan was to hatch this fake case against Lerone Armstrong with the idea of getting him out and replacing him, because she didn't want it to look like she was taking a black popular police chief out of office. That has been what's going on. Sheng is chaos. Indeed, the mayor has put the C in chaos. All right, do you hear me? Put the C in chaos. Okay, so on top of that, what's her latest trick? To go Black Crab Barrel, while she stands by and smiles somewhere and applauds herself on what she believes is her political genius, thinking nothing about how the city will come out of it at all. Nothing. All right. It is beyond ridiculous. Okay. And the broadcast that I just showed you goes on to mention the focus of the attacks of the people that I showed you. The group singled out two men: former Alameda County Assistant District Attorney Terry Wiley, who ran against Pamela Price, who's the focus of a recall effort, and former Oakland City Councilman Lauren Taylor, who lost to Mayor Sheng Thao in the 2022 Oakland mayoral election. All right. And then Walter Riley has the nerve, a man I respect. That's the white-haired man with a nice suit on the right side, a man I have the greatest of respect for, who suffered in Haiti, got out alive. We were all really worried about him. But he has the nerve to get on air and call another black person a loser. That's what he did. He said, these people, talking about Terry Wiley, all right, and Lauren Taylor, he said, these people are the losers. They lost the election, and now they're running the local chapter. And here's the catch, folks. they're not running the local chapter of the NAACP. Cynthia Adams is. So it's a complete insult to Cynthia Adams for them and for Walter to say something like that. I can't, as I recite this to you, believe he would actually do something like that, but he did. Okay? He did. All right. And I'm really ashamed that he would do that. I'm ashamed I have to say this. But Walter is showing the classic example of what Black Crab Barrels do. Walter, please, I beg of you, take it back, apologize, and stop. You are doing the mayor's bidding, who, by the way, isn't black. I will continue, okay? I will continue, all right? And for Mayor Sheng Thao, this is yet one more example of her using white media. They didn't bring the press release to me, by the way. White media to get out to spin her web of confusion and chaos. She loves doing this sort of thing, all right? She loves it. She just can't get enough of it, all right? And she's been taking lessons in confusion from Donald Trump. Now, you heard me, Donald Trump, all right? And we all see how that's working out for him, don't we? But what she always does is she puts out a falsehood and she attacks people in social media and uses language that's fit for a teenager, all right? In fact, she's so effective at it, she has the four of them talking the same way. Did you listen to how they talked? Basically whining about Terry and Lauren. I mean, it was despicable. And this is the Black community of Oakland on a white-owned media network. You understand? They didn't take it to black media. They didn't bring it to me. And I would have said, why don't we get everybody in one room? Oh, no. They had to have their own platform to literally throw spitballs at the other folks who refused to fire back in kind, thankfully. But it doesn't diminish what they tried to do. It was awful. And to do it and have the mayor standing behind you for all practical purposes, smiling, seriously? Okay? This is how low our Black community has sunk in Oakland. Our population is diminished. Our income is diminished. What we control and operate are diminished. We've gone from, hey, having Black culture in Oakland, right, to talking about a little part of Oakland, East Oakland, we can claim our own. Give me a break. This is passive aggressive. It's weak. It's loser behavior by all of us, myself included, if I remain silent about it. That's why I decided to speak up. All right. So, Walter, they aren't the losers. We are the losers. And you too, because you're contributing to it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. That's what I say. Please stop it. This is Bush League stuff. It's ridiculous. It's childish. It's wrong. And you know as well as I do, Walter, that the NAACP was behind the idea of reforming the police so that Black men, which I thought this was all about, saving Black men, was the point. It wasn't defunding the police. That was hijacked by some white activists. Check it out for yourself. It got switched. All of a sudden, it went from, hey, you are picking on Black men to, well, let's just defund the police. Which, what did it do? It took away the criticisms of how the police were actually doing their job toward Black men. It watered it down in a very clever and despicable way. And you all stepped right into it, and you're still doing it. And I'm asking you to stop doing it. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Enough of this stuff. Enough of it. All right. And don't say anything to me about who you think I am, Reed. That's not the point. All right. The point is we've all been in Oakland a while. All right. A while. And we all know about how Oakland was. We know how Oakland is right now. And we also know that we have the tools to make it better. Ask the mayor herself why she had a secret meeting with me on the 2nd of February of 2022 regarding enhanced infrastructure financing district legislation and tax increment financing, and gave me 2 pieces of homework, but didn't want to pay me for it because she had a white consultant. She basically said that to me. I've got a consultant. She basically, hey, look, I can figure out the rest. I knew who it was. It was Larry Cosma, okay? Doing tax increment work that I've done over 37 years. You hear me? Going all the way back to when I was an intern for the Oakland Redevelopment Agency in 1987, fresh out of Cal City Planning grad school. So You all are not right. She's not right. And when I told her that this is something, the conversation we were having, that should be made public, she didn't do that. And then when I asked about getting paid, she didn't even grant my request for interviews after that. So in other words, as long as I, wasn't her boy, she wasn't going to treat me like media. That's basically the message she sent out. That crap's ridiculous. You think I'm going to sit back and just whistle in the dark where this stuff is going on? No. I am media. I'm Oakland's first vlogger and blogger, like it or not. Okay? But you all need to stop this stuff. You're basically acting like white supremacists, except you're black. And you think you're doing a service, and you're not. You're doing a disservice, and the person controlling your strings is Sheng. Everybody knows it. Everyone knows it. So please, stop this stuff. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube. Bookmark Zenny62.com. Bookmark my newest blog, our newest blog since now we're a C Corp, ZennyReport.com, and invest in Zenny62 Media. That's an order. To steal a phrase from Minority Report. I'll see you later. Thanks.